software engineering, basically when we are talking anything about or everything related with the software, whether it is for its development, its maintenance, everything which is being associated with the software, it all comes inside your software engineering. Now, as you have seen nowadays that people doing the coding, making the programs, and there is a general concept that we all have is that when we are doing coding is the software, but actually that is not the case. Coding is a very small portion of the entire software project that we talk about. Later on we are going to see in the chart as well that the entire cost of the software project that we are having, the cost of the coding is somewhere around the 20%. There are other phases are also which are more important, or we can say as important as the coding is. Now, if we talk about the definition, then yes. Now, if we talk about the definitions, there are n number of definitions being given by several authors. Here we are going to see some of them. Like the first we have by your Fritz Bohr. The definition says like the establishment and use of sound engineering principles in order to obtain economically developed software that is reliable and works efficiently on real machines. Now, as the definition says, we are trying to use the different software principles to develop the software economically. When we are talking about economically, we are talking about the cost which is being involved in the development of the software. If we are not going to use the software engineering principles, the techniques, so obviously the cost being incurred will be very high as compared to when we are using the software discipline principles. It also talks about the efficiently when we are talking in terms of the space being required, in terms of the other functionality being provided by the software. See, it doesn't matter that how many functionalities or n number of functionalities you are going to provide in the software, till the time it is not going to fulfill the need of the customer. So that is what when we are talking about its efficiency. Now, the second definition that we have is given by your Staffen, and it says a discipline whose aim is the production of quality software that is delivered on time, within budget, and that satisfies its requirements. Now, on time, when we say, it is really very important. As you know, today's market is a competitive market. A customer who needs the software being developed, there is a particular time period, within time period which he or she wants his or her software to be developed. If suppose the time being taken by the organization is too high in comparison to the time being given by the customer, obviously it is of no use, or we can say it is not going to fulfill the need of the customer. Budget, obviously, as we talked before as well, within the budget. Now we are going to see later on that in the requirement phase there is a we are going to have the economical feasibility we are talking about, where we have a conversation with the customer regarding the cost being taken by the organization, or the cost being in which the customer is being agree to provide for the software. Now, requirements, as I said, it means whatever the different functionalities that a customer is being hoping to have from the upcoming software, that is what we are calling about in the requirements. Likewise, there are other definitions are also there. You can see it has been available in the book. Now, the most important things whenever we are going to study any subject or any topic, that what is the need of that. So, like we are talking about the software engineering as well, there is a n number of needs has been there for using the software engineering. Like the first we have is the large software. Now, what happens if the size of the software is very small? For example, suppose if you are making software of a small calculator where the number of lines are very small, for example maybe 100 lines, 200 lines, then obviously you can make it without using any principle of the software engineering, because you are not much bothering about the cost, the time, the space, and so many things. But when the size of the software is too large, the size of the code goes into billions of lines. So obviously you cannot manage it without the use of software engineering principles, because if you are going to do it, so you will not able to manage it. The complexity being associated with the large software cannot be managed without using the software engineering principles. Then we have the second thing, your scalability. Scalability means, suppose we are going to develop a software with small features. For example, like we are going to create a software for a school where initially we are going to provide only the attendance and the syllabus content which our faculty can enter inside that or upload it. But in future we are planning that yes, when our organization grows on, we are going to have several other functionalities as well, like the account functionality will be there, the bus functionality will be there. Likewise, we will also like to have our result being prepared. We will also like to have our software being used for the admission purpose. So if you in future you want to scale your current software, so that scenario is also being done efficiently and in a very simpler manner with the help of your software engineering principles. Then we are talking about the cost. Cost obviously is a big factor. Now if you are not going to use the different software engineering principles, like if you say every time I'm saying for the software engineering principle, later on we are going to see what different principles we are talking about. So if you are not going to use those software engineering techniques, the cost of the software goes on very large. It just increase exponentially. Many the times it happens, you will see, we are going to see, we are having certain analysis where it is being seen like n number of software goes over budgeted. Means the budget that we decided initially for the development, they go much beyond over that. So it happens just because we are not going to use, or we are not using the software engineering principles which we must use for the preparation of the software. Then we have dynamic nature. Now what happens when we are going to develop a software for any customer or any organization? It happens many the time that initially the customer or the organization, the requirements that they give, it keeps on changing with time. Not only during the development of the software, it may be possible that after software being developed, even at that time also the organization or the customer may demand for it for certain changes inside that. So if you have not developed your software using those principles, then again it will be very difficult to make changes inside that. Next, the last that we are having is your quality management. Quality management, obviously when we are talking about the functionality, or we can say the different functionalities or the quality being involved inside that. For example, suppose the software that you are going to develop is not going to take too much high spaces. The bandwidth being required, the number of users being supported should not be very limited. It should not happen that as soon as the number of users are going to increase up, your software is going to be hang up. So all these different quality parameters should be involved when you are going to develop a software. We are going to have several different quality parameters that we are going to talk about later on. Now next we have is your software characteristics. Now see, when we are as we all know that we are when we are talking about a software, it is not like a hardware which you can touch and feel. So obviously the characteristics a software has will be quite different from the characteristic that we have for the hardware. Like the one we have is software does not wear out. As you know, in case of hardware, as the time proceeds on, the hardware just wear up. Okay, they just having certain wear out things in that. Now the next we have is that software is not manufactured like the other things. Like for example, if we are talking about a bridge, we do need certain raw materials, like your iron is there, your cement is there, bricks are there. In case of software, we doesn't need all such raw materials. Next, usability of the software. Now when we are talking about the usability, we are talking about the simplicity, how simple a software is to handle. You have seen several software as well where there are n number of functionalities are being there, but they are very complex in using. For a non-technical person, it is very difficult to use it. So whatever software we are going to make, we should focus on the usability concept, that the software that we are going to develop should be of very simple in use. Even a non-technical person should be able to use it. Next, we are talking about the reusability components. Now, reusability, as the name itself suggests, means the components that we have already developed we are able to use them, and that feature is being available in case of software. There are several components that we develop for a particular software, and the same component we can use in different other software. For example, suppose we have a calculator component that we have developed. That component we can use in different kinds of software that we are going to develop. Maybe it is being related for your MIS is there, or it is being for a bank purpose is there, for a hospital is there. So you can use that component. And the one more important thing of being reusability of the components is that the component has already been tested several times. So the chances of error being coming in those components are very less. Next, we have the flexibility. Flexibility, as the name suggests, means we are able to make the changes inside the software. Okay, so that's all we have for the first lecture. In the upcoming lecture, we are going to have other topics regarding these topics that we have discussed. If you have any query, you can write those queries on our Google Classroom code. Thank you.